Virginia dominates Missouri in the Taxslayer Gator Bowl. Yes, sir. So look, man, the Cavaliers, obviously, look, they made history tonight. In their 136-year history, they've never won 11 games. They did that tonight with a defensive effort. They shut down, obviously, the Missouri offense. And as you can see right here, Taxslayer Gator Bowl champions, right? Wasn't the best offensive performance, right? But Chandler Morris did ball out tonight, in my opinion. 198 yards, right? He had completed 25 passes. But where he was critical in this game, and you have to really watch, was on third downs, right? 10 for 10 for 120 yards, 7 converted first downs through the air with him passing the football. He was critical. Eli Wood was another one for Virginia that played at a high level tonight. 4 catches for 71 yards, y'all. And he had 3 third down conversions as well. A 3rd and 12, I think a 3rd and 6, and a 3rd and 11. Dude was phenomenal tonight. But more else, like, they didn't have one of their star running backs, right? Jamari Taylor did not play. He had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. Didn't play in this one. They had to lean on Harrison Whaley. Whaley in this game had 68 yards on 20 carries and a tub. He scored the lone touchdown in the game for Virginia on a 19-play, y'all. Listen to me. 19-play, 75-yard drive. It took up over 10:07 on the clock. Everyone talks about the SEC and it being way better than other conferences. We're going to talk about that more here in a second. But they straight up whooped up on Missouri in terms of in the trenches. The fact they was able to do a drive like that and they dominate time of possession 38 minutes to like 21 minutes, told me all I needed to know. Now, again, I ain't saying Virginia should have been in the college football playoff, but obviously they was way better than what they was ranked at. Again, they lost to an 8-5 Duke. I feel y'all. But at the same time, they dominated Missouri in this game in the trenches. Again, they won 13-7. Offense could have did a little bit more. But Missouri has a very good defense. I think they're top 20 in total defense this year. They're pretty stellar, if you ask me. But they made the plays when they need to make the plays on offense, which is why they ended up winning, obviously, this game. Defensively, game ball goes to Devin Neal. He saved them at the end. They had to line up in a walk-on transfer. Brett Brown, who came in, nearly delivered a touchdown. Devin Neal obviously bats it down. 4th down, ends the game. The possession before, Virginia was able to get a stop against Matt Zollers on 4th and 2. Steps out of bounds, they take over. So just a great complimentary game, in my humble opinion, for the Virginia Cavaliers. And like I said, just history was made tonight. And they did it with a little bit of everything, right? I talked about 68 yards and touchdown for Harrison Whaley. Zay Davis also had 41 yards in this game. Virginia doesn't make it look pretty, but they do what they need to do to come out on top and win these type of games. When you have that, it makes you a potent team. It makes you a tough team to stop. It makes you a team that you have to be forced to be reckoned with. A team that you have to look out for. A team you have to consider. That's Virginia, man. And they have a lot going for themselves that they can continue to grind out and continue to get better at going into the future. The biggest question moving forward is if they can keep Chandler Morris. Will he return back for one more season with the Cavaliers? That I'm not too sure about because he's still waiting on that from the NCAA. At least you know he's a competent quarterback. And you got a defense that can help you win the ACC title, if I'm humbly honest. Now, why do I say that? I'm probably going to ask. They shut down Matt Zollers. Zollers had 45 yards total in the game before the final drive. In the final drive, he had 55 passing yards. Dude had an interception as well. They shut him completely down. And then Ahmad Hardy, you're going to look at, oh, Notch, you did well. 89 yards on 15 carries. Ahmad Hardy had a great first possession, great first drive, 7 plays, 74 yards. He didn't score. It was Jamal Roberts who scored. But after that point, for the most part, they were shut down. They didn't even get a second half first down until like the 4th quarter. That's how lethal they were defensively in this game. Like, they was getting nothing going. Donovan Oblugdi, he didn't get one until late. Kevin Coleman Jr., who I know was dealing with the injury, they pretty much shut him down. Secondary played at a high level. The linebackers was falling to the ball. They was creating pressure. They did an outstanding job in this game from head to toe. So, yeah, man, my honest thoughts, Virginia is something serious. I like Missouri and Eli Drinkowitz. I think he does a good job with their crew. They got to get some more pieces. And then your question has to be about Zollers, who kind of got screwed at the end, but his head did hit the turf where he was subbed out of the game and had to bring in a walk-on freshman. Is he good enough to be your starting quarterback? Because it's a lot on the line. And when you play SEC ball, you're going to have to gut out some wins. Is Zollers enough, or will you have to go in the portal and go get a quarterback? That's going to be a big question for Missouri going in because you got the running back. Ahmad Hardy's a dog. Dude don't go down at the first contact. So when you have that kind of dog in the backfield, you better surround him with the weapons that he needs around him in order to kind of help yourself. Because what it's going to do is you're going to have heavier boxes, which is going to lean up the one-on-one coverage down the field. And you're going to need a quarterback that can deliver him the ball. So we're going to find out, obviously, there. Final point, I want to bring this up. Everybody talks about the SEC. Love the SEC. It's a good conference. But remember, ACC ain't trash. Ain't never been. Right? Now, again, this was not a good year for the ACC. I'm with y'all. But it had a lot of parity. They went 6-6 against the SEC this year. All right, 6-6. Miami beat Texas A&M. Florida State beat Alabama. You know what I'm saying? And then Virginia just beat, obviously, Missouri. So y'all remember that when y'all try to dog and trash on the ACC. They can win the games. They can beat SEC opponents. They've been doing it for years. That's all I'm saying. So, yeah, that's my thoughts. History-making night for Virginia. 11 wins, first time ever in the program history in 136 years. Credit to Tony Elliott. They had 3 consecutive seasons back-to-back where they did not win or did not have a winning record. So, the fact that they got 11 wins, double-digit, this season, when nobody thought Virginia was going to be any good, you have to credit Tony Elliott and that Virginia coaching staff. Bright future ahead. Not the best recruiting class coming in, but they're going to have to hit the portal and get some guys to fill out the rest of this roster. To do that, look the hell out. Virginia might be here to stay for some years to come.